Let's go, Byron. Come on. Let's go. Oh, shoot. Okay, we're really excited about this stick. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kristen, and today we're going to be discussing thoughts to consider before getting your first dog. The following tips are based on my own experience owning a dog. I am not a professional giving professional advice in any way. I am simply here to share my personal experiences and sometimes my opinions with all of you. I am not responsible for how the information is used and or perceived in this video. Thought number 1, your lifestyle. Does this dog actually fit my lifestyle? Ask yourself this question. So let's start with physically. Are you able to physically provide for this dog? Can you take this dog on walks, runs, hikes? Some dogs need more than one version of exercise. Sometimes having a backyard is simply not enough. For example, when I got Byron, I thought a backyard would be plenty for him. But it turns out that he just simply was not getting enough stimulation. Byron needs walks, runs, hikes, fetch, you name it. Can you physically do all of that? Ask yourself that question. Next, we're going to talk about your living situation. What about if you live in an apartment or a space that does not have a safe area for your dog to be off the leash? Can you physically take this dog out as often as it needs? What about the weather? Are you willing to walk in snow, rain, mud, freezing cold, 40-mile-per-hour winds? These are all super important questions you don't think of with all the excitement in getting your first dog. What if your dog doesn't like the snow? What about super hot weather? What if your dog doesn't like that? That can have challenges too. How are you going to get your dog enough exercise if there's a heat warning? All things to consider before getting your first dog. Next, we're going to talk about social stimulation. Do you have friends with dogs or neighbors you can socialize your dog with? What about the dog park? Are you against the dog park? Are you social? What if you are not and your dog is? So God forbid your dog gets attacked by another dog, but what if that happens when you're trying to socialize him or her? Do you know when it's appropriate to break up dogs playing? All these questions are not intended to scare anybody, but to simply help give insight to things that may otherwise be overlooked when deciding on getting your first dog. So I can admit that I did not think of nearly any of these before I got Byron. We've had a couple situations when it comes to socializing, so I'm just going to say this. Please make sure you take the time to train your dog properly and to train yourself, because the best advice that I've heard, and I'm sure the majority of you have heard it, is there are no bad dogs, only bad owners. Also, breed specific. I think it's important when assessing the needs your dog is going to require, because different breeds can most certainly have an influence on your dog's needs, both physically and socially. Research, research, research before you make this important decision. So, to conclude, the first thing to consider, does your current lifestyle allow for you to give the proper attention and care to this dog? You are undoubtedly going to have to make some kind of lifestyle change when getting a dog. Those changes I don't want to say negative, but they may not be the changes you were hoping for, or the lifestyle changes you were hoping for when getting a dog. So keep it in mind before getting your first dog. Time. Realistically, do you have the time to give this dog? Is my work schedule flexible? Can I get time off of work for the first few weeks, days, however you want to do it, while you raise and train this dog? Now, let me tell you that I did not have a flexible work schedule, nor was I able to get time off of work easily when I got Byron. So I totally get it. I understand how hard that can be and how hard that sounds to have to take off a couple days, couple weeks, couple months, what have you, before getting your first dog. But I just want to share what I wish I would have known or realized when I got my first dog. And honestly, sometimes you may just be in a spot in your life where you don't have the time for a dog, and that's totally okay and actually very responsible of you to even give that some thought. Because after all, dogs are very adaptable and they can adapt to your schedule if done correctly. So just please consider the commitment before getting your first dog. Can I provide for this dog financially? Sure, this is a common question on dog applications or something that's verbally agreed on between one adult to the other. But what about the stuff you don't think about in all of your excitement before getting your first dog? Dog training is a lot more expensive than I thought. And I can truly say Byron would not be the dog he is today without his 2 weeks of puppy training that we enrolled him in. So if you can afford it, do it. Okay, so moving on to vet bills. What about routine shots or unexpected health bills? Are you going to give heartworm and flea monthly? Does your dog have any allergies? What about food allergies? Seasonal allergies? What if you don't know what allergies your dog has? Are you willing to pay for the testing to find out? These are all so important to think about before you get your first dog, because I know everybody does stuff a little bit differently, but these can all be huge shocks when getting your first dog, or at least I thought so. Okay, so let's talk about vacation. The only reason I'm bringing vacation up underneath financial responsibility is because of the boarding fees that you're going to need to pay for your dog while you go on vacation, if you're not bringing him with you, if you don't have friends or family close by. Not to mention that you need to find a trustworthy and reasonably priced boarding facility for your dog. We really lucked out because the same lady who did Byron's puppy training had a boarding facility and he loved going there. So that was super cool, but sometimes not everybody has access to that. So, you know, if it were up to me, Byron would never leave my side, but sometimes that's impossible when I have to travel, whether it be for work or getting on an airplane, just more things to consider. Okay, so we're on to the final thought, and this is my favorite thought, and this is something I never knew I would experience when getting a dog, and that is, are you prepared to experience unconditional love? I do have a partner that I've been with for a very long time, so I can luckily understand what it means to fall in love with somebody and to both love and be loved unconditionally, but there's something different about the love you share for your dog. It's so special, really. Moms in my life tell me that it's similar to the love you share for a child. Honestly, I think it's magical, and it's something that I will never, ever let go of. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I truly want to say the reason I share this information is for one thing and for one thing only: the love I share for my Byron, and honestly for all dogs in this world. Please do your research before you begin this journey, and I assure you both the doggo and yourself will be happy you did. Good luck and congratulations on finding your new best friend.